Live with CDP Sports Talk, a weekly sports and entertainment podcast sponsored by Barry Cullen Chevrolet. Live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and LinkedIn. And on audio via Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Spotify, Anchor FM, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Radio Public, and TuneIn. Now, here's your host, Chris Palme.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Season 10, Episode 20, overall 516 of Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show, sponsored by Barry Cullen Chevrolet Dealership at 905 Woodlawn Road West in the Guelph Auto Mall. Check out barrycullen.com for the newest selection of new and pre-owned GM vehicles, along with their great selection of all electric vehicles and Cadillac vehicles as well. You can call the dealership at 519-824-0210. Tell them Chris Palme sent you, or you can email them at info@barrycullen.com. Barry Cullen Chevrolet Dealership has been family-run and operated here in the city of Guelph since 1969, and yours truly has been a customer of Barry Cullen Chevrolet since the year 2000, going on 25 years. I hope everyone is doing well on this Thursday, March 27th, 2025, opening day for Major League Baseball today. By the way, the Jays lost 12-2, and I'm excited about my guest tonight. I met her recently through a mutual friend and a guest on our on Live with CDP recently, and we're going to bring her on in a minute. Her name is Monica Arora Bir. She is the founder of Digital Monk Marketing out of Calgary. So we're going to bring Monica on, and we're going to talk a little bit about digital marketing and how she started up her company. Good evening, Monica. How are you?
Good. How are you? Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for coming on here tonight. I really appreciate it. How are you doing, and how's the weather over your part of the country?
Well, it's spring, but yet we're getting winter blizzard coming through the city. So you can just imagine that it's not great. We're expecting about 30 centimeters of snow this weekend.
I guess people here shouldn't complain. We're supposed to get freezing rain here this weekend. And last week we had a few days where it was in the 70s. So winter is not finished yet.
No.
So have you lived most of your life out in Western Canada?
I have. I've been born and raised in Calgary my whole life, Northwest Calgary.
I've never been out west. I'll be honest with you. I've been to more states than my own country, and one of the things I want to do this summer and going forward is to travel more in Canada. And what do you love about Calgary and Western Canada the most?
Oh, the nature. It's so beautiful here. I feel like Calgary is like the perfect place for city life, nature. We get the best of all the worlds here. So I think that's what's kept me here for so long. Like Banff is 45 minutes from my house. Downtown is 20 minutes. We have a great culinary culture here. We have great events that happen here. It's not really a small town Calgary anymore it was like 25 years ago. It's totally changed. We've had a huge influx of people coming in the last 2 years. It's really changed the landscape of Calgary completely. So it's like we're not considered a small town anymore, but we're not like a Toronto or a Vancouver either. So I can see why people are moving here and they see the appeal.
For those people like myself that have never been there, what would you recommend going to see in the province of Alberta, or in your case, closer in the Calgary area?
Okay, well, it just really depends what you're into. We have everything here, but I think if you're coming specifically to Calgary and you want a reason to come, it's definitely for the nature. It's for the mountains. It's for Banff. It's for Canmore. It's for Kananaskis. It's gorgeous. It looks like sometimes you're in a painting or a postcard. Like you almost have to pinch yourself being like, is this real? Because the nature is just stunning.
What's your favorite local food in Calgary or in Alberta?
Oh, my favorite local food would probably be Anejo. It's a great Mexican restaurant here in Calgary. It's been here for, I don't know, I'd probably say about 25 years, give or take. Food is amazing. Service is amazing. It's authentic Mexican food. They just got it right. Yeah.
Ironically, I was taking a cooking course tonight, and I made Mexican food right now. So when I come out to Alberta, I will definitely have to check that out. But again, Monica, I want to say thank you so much for coming on. And I am based in Ontario, just outside of Toronto. And can you tell my audience just a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, born and raised here in Calgary, Alberta. Started my marketing agency in 2008. I graduated from U of A with a business degree, majoring in HR and marketing. And I got out of school and I was like, I don't know what to do. I have student loans to pay. I got to do something. And at that time, I knew that I couldn't work for anybody. Like that was just innately in me from day one. I knew that I wasn't like a 9 to 5 girl. So started exploring entrepreneurship and what I could do and different options. So I started just looking at the market and seeing what was where was the gap that I could fill. So oddly enough, I actually got into plates, like paper plates, and now they're in like biodegradable stuff is like people get it, like everything's at the supermarket, all of the bags are biodegradable, like we caught up like 25 years later. But that's actually what I wanted to get into when I got to school, is biodegradable and healthy options for the earth, so we're not polluting it as much with our plastics. So I started looking at different options for biodegradable party plates and spoons and blah 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 blah. And everyone's like, yeah, this is great, this is going to go, this is going to be amazing. Everyone's so environmentally aware now. And as I started going and talking to people if they want to carry it in their stores and whatnot, it was a no go. So it's like it was a great idea that we're environmentally friendly, but no one wants to pay the extra amount to be environmentally friendly. So I was way beyond my time at that point. I had also come up with a biodegradable bag at that point, so we could stop using plastics that many years ago. And again, no one was taking any interest into it. They liked the idea, but didn't want to bite. So that was kind of one of the many ideas I was looking at in the entrepreneur world, and it wasn't what I was going to do next. Then I got into a local magazine. I partnered up with a gentleman here who owned a magazine called Karma, and I started working with him on selling advertisements within this magazine. And we got a lot of traction there, and it was a lot of fun, but it wasn't what I was meant to do. So eventually I fell into marketing again. Like that's what I went to school with, that's what I really loved. And I got a lot of interest in working on a consultant basis. So a lot of local business would say, we don't have a marketing person, but could you guide us in this way? And can you help us with this and create ad campaigns? And so that's where I started the campaign. That's where I started the agency. I just started working with small mom and pop shops who needed guidance and couldn't afford a big marketing agency. And that's where I kind of honed in on my skills, what I like to do, what I didn't want to do, what kind of clients I wanted to work with, and started building from there.
Monica, how much has marketing changed over the past 20, 25 years, especially with the internet and social media?
It's unrecognizable. It's completely different. I went to school for traditional marketing because that's what was available at the time. And I got out of school and Facebook was a thing. And so you can imagine how Facebook itself changed the face of marketing so drastically, and how we consumed content and data, and how we had so much more data on what people were viewing and what people liked and what we didn't. We had hard analytics on how marketing actually works. Back then it was like radio and print and billboards and magazines and trade shows and flyers and all of these types of things that were known as what we did for marketing to get our business exposed. But we had no real analytics on what worked. We just had word of mouth of someone saying, yeah, I saw this door hanger and that's why I came in to do business with you. And that's actually how marketing works at all. We generally have to see a brand 7 to 10 times before we even register. We saw it once. And generally when we ask people, hey, where did you hear of us? Their recall is so poor because we actually don't know, that they would state, oh, I saw it in the newspaper, and there was no ad campaign even running in the newspaper. But now with digital, we know exactly who's clicking, who's coming from what, who's putting something in the shopping cart on your website, who's checking out. We know exactly what's happening, when it's happening, and when that sale's being made, and what medium they came from. So that was a huge win for the digital world in marketing. We finally knew what was working. We weren't guessing anymore, which was the downfall of traditional marketing, because they couldn't provide those same analytics with the same precision. So
technology.
Technology really changed the face of marketing drastically once I got out of university. So we had to adjust and really understand, what does marketing look like now? What I learned in school was completely obsolete within a year. The foundations you can, rely on, but other than that, the way you do it and the mediums you're using are completely different.
Technology has really shrunk the world down, and with me, I don't know if I'd be in this career right now if it wasn't for the technology. And I wish they had this technology back in the 90s, but you know what, I think I'm more ready for this now than I was in my 90s as well. I've kind of reinvented myself through the use of today's technology.
Yeah, well, that's what technology does, right? It opens up way more opportunities. I guess I should reconsider how I said that. Majority of the time, it opens up new opportunities, and it offers new opportunities to people who necessarily wouldn't be able to do that. Like, now you have your own show, and maybe 10 years ago, getting into this space, there was so many more hurdles. Like, you'd actually have to go sell your idea to a network and say, this is what I want to do, and I want to host a show. And now anyone can do it. Now it's turning into a market of peer-to-peer. Anyone can be famous, and anyone can have a show. And it creates equal opportunity for people.
Absolutely. And I'm a late starter in this career, and I'm also I'm self-employed, and I'm self-taught, and I'm constantly learning something new. But you know what? It's not really work when you have a passion for it. And I can tell, talking to you, Monica, how passionate you are about your company and marketing as well. And when you started up your company, how did you come up with the name, and what were some of the challenges of starting up your own business as an entrepreneur?
Yeah, I think everyone goes through their entrepreneurial challenges. And being the first business I ever ran, everything was a challenge, from getting clients to setting up internal systems to hiring my first staff member. It was a learning curve. And again, just like you, self-taught. Just because I went to business school doesn't mean they teach you exactly how to run a business. The only thing I actually learned from business school is cash flow. Make sure you have the right cash flow, and and understand the concept of cash flow to run a business. And funny enough, there's enough entrepreneurs out there that still don't understand that concept. So that one I was able to grasp really quickly, is understanding cash flow, and building the business around that. But other than that, from school, it was just like the foundations of, well, this is how accounting works. Well, you need an accountant, and this is how the basis of marketing works, and human resources. But those were all just ideas at the time. They weren't anything that I could grasp on and actually run with. It was just knowledge I had read. I had no experience. So every decision I made, every staff member I hired, was all really by the seat of my pants, like just learning and using my intuition on what's going to work and what's not. A lot of times I was right, but there was a lot of times I fell flat on my face until I got up again and did it again and then again and again. In the last 20 years, there's been lots of times being like, how did I get here? How did I do this? You just do it.
Monica, for those people that are watching this live streamed or on audio, and they're looking to be self-employed or an entrepreneur, could you just give them a little advice that you learned from your beginnings?
Yeah, just try. I think the hardest part of becoming an entrepreneur is just getting the courage to do it. Just try something small to get your confidence up, but just take little baby steps in one direction until you get the confidence to do it. And I think that's all it is. It's the hardest part is actually just taking that first step. I'm like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to figure it out, because no one knows the answers. There's not a clear path in entrepreneurship. In one day you can have 15 different emotions of like, this is amazing, this is so much fun, to like, I hate this, I don't want to do this anymore, I should find a job, because you don't know the curveballs that are going to come your way. But if you're committed to this is what you want to do, you just keep pushing.
I know when I started this 5 years ago, I had a lot of people support me, but I had a lot of naysayers, haters, and you have to believe in yourself. Obviously, passion is important, but if you don't believe in what you're doing, nobody else will as well. And you have to be able to block out the noise and have thick skin too in this industry, because you're not always going to get things going your way, especially in radio and media. You're going to get your I don't like the word rejections. I call them temporary setbacks.
I love that you said that, because that's exactly what it is. When you look at a lot of these companies, these I'm trying to think of the word, these product companies or these SaaS companies, for instance, Canva. Look at Canva now; it's a massive, multi-billion-dollar company, changing the landscape, a huge disruptor in the design space. She got 100. I don't think so from investors. No, we're not investing, before she got someone to believe in her. But you're right. She believed in herself and she kept going. She kept going every day, and she had $1 billion company now. It didn't matter how much she got. She believed in the product. She believed in herself that this was going to be big.
And that's why I love doing this show, is because of the storytelling aspect from my guests and hearing their stories. And I'm also 52 years old, but I'm trying to prove to people that age is just a number, and don't judge someone based on their age. Judge them based on their body and quality of their work.
Absolutely. Age is just a number. It's a number that we bought into. That at age this, I should be here, and at age that, I should be there. And you can reinvent yourself at any age.
And a couple of days ago, I spoke to 100 high school students as a career speaker. And I never thought when I was their age, I would be speaking in front of people, because back then I was so uncomfortable being in front of a camera or in front of people. And a lot of the students came up to me and they thanked me for my time. And it was really a great feeling. And that's another skill that I'm working on too, is public speaking. And I'm really thankful for those opportunities.
Good for you. Good for you for overcoming that fear.
Wasn't easy, but I've reinvented myself, and there's a lot, and you're right, and there's a lot of people that are my age or even older that have switched careers too. So mindset, and you got to have strong willpower too.
I agree.
Now, Monica, who were some of your early influences and mentors into your career?
I don't think I have just one. It was the multiple conversations I had with multiple people, whether they were entrepreneurs or not, just talking about my ideas and the problems I was seeing in business, not seeking, but sometimes we seek those too. We seek our own problems. Just having conversations with everybody, because everyone had their own take on it, their own experience, and then taking all of that information and really understanding how I can learn from it was what was really helpful. In entrepreneurship, you feel alone on every aspect of it because you are by yourself, right? Like, it's those leaders are always like, at the top, it's so lonely. Well, yeah, it is lonely because you don't have a whole team of people at the beginning of your entrepreneurship journey. You're all your own, making all of these decisions. You don't know if they're right or wrong because you have zero experience. So literally talking to everybody and understanding their perspective from their experience helps you grasp from their experience and make those sound decisions, or more sound decisions than just guessing, right?
Absolutely. And I've also had to learn to be a businessman, and I've also had to learn how to do sales, because I have to sell my show to my guests and to businesses and getting sponsors. And you have to put in the work. It's not just doing the on-air stuff, it's the behind the scenes stuff as well. That's huge.
That's actually what most people don't know. I mean, how many times have you gotten that comment? Oh, it must be so nice to be your own boss. You're so lucky you have your own business. And little do most people know is that it's 24/7. If you're not doing something, taking action within your business, you're thinking about it and you're fixing something, or you're mulling over something over. Like, it is 24/7. So there is no 9 to 5. It's beyond the 9 to 5.
Well said, and that's what's my job too. I get a lot of comments. Oh, it must be nice to work at home and blah blah blah. But I'm like, no, I might work at home, but I also do media work for a number of sports teams out of town, and also even when I'm not live on air with you tonight, Monica, I'm editing video, I'm booking guests, I'm promoting myself on all my social media platforms, which is a full-time job as well. And I don't think a lot of people understand that.
Agreed. Absolutely. You actually don't know the wins and the struggles of an entrepreneur until you do it yourself. It just seems like a fantasy story, and then you live it and you're like, "Oh, okay. No, this isn't the glamour I thought it would be to own my own business." And I think that anyone who's thinking about going into entrepreneurship has to understand that it's very different than what you see. It's very different. It's literally a journey.
And I came from the corporate security world for a big company for 23 and a half years. And it did help me prepare for this. But at the end, it just, I wasn't happy at the end. And during the pandemic, this is when I found my passion. And you don't always find your passion when you're younger in life. You can find it at any age as well.
Agreed. Yeah, I think that's a false story we're told, that you have to find your passion by the time you're 18 when you go into university and commit to the career you're going to do for the rest of your life. I think that's ridiculous. I think we're allowed to reinvent ourselves whenever. I think we're allowed to change our mind as well in what we've committed to do for our career. And I think that is catching fire in the younger generations now. They don't feel so committed to, I have to do this for the rest of my life. This is what I'm doing now because I'm passionate about it, but my passion might change and my direction might change, and that's okay. But if you look at the older generation, the baby boomers, your career was your career till you retired, and that was end of story. That was it. It was very rare to see career changes happening in that generation. But that's you're seeing it more and more often now with the younger generations, and more so with Gen X and Gen Y. They're open to it. They're like, why not? What do I have to lose? If I'm not happy, I'm going to try something that will create that happiness for me in my life. So I admire that.
From my experience, I stayed with this other career for that amount of time because the money and I was complacent. But you know what? I know money's important, but at the end, I wasn't really happy there. And you know what? I might be making a little less money now doing this, but my mental health is a lot better and I'm a lot happier. And to me, this is not work. This is a passion.
Yeah. Well, when you're actually following your purpose and your passion, it never feels like work.
Absolutely. And there's some days where I'm not 100%, but soon as I go on camera with my guest or guests, my adrenaline kicks in, and this is something that it's just something I love to do.
Well, congratulations on finding your passion.
Well, thank you so much, Monica. I wanted to ask you this too before we wrap this up in a few minutes. How did you come up again with the name of your company, and how important is your logo and branding these days as an entrepreneur and as a small business owner?
Yeah, so Digital Monk was a brand refresh. My original business name was Innova Marketing Solutions. And as I got into business, I realized that the brand didn't align with who I was at all. In fact, my clients would get invoices from the company and they'd be calling me saying, like, we got an invoice from Innova Marketing Solutions. Who is that? Have you approved this vendor? And so I quickly realized that my brand was not aligned with my company, and not aligned certainly with the work I was doing. So Digital Monk emerged 10 years later, and it was really inspired by my spiritual practice. My free time, I guess you would call it, or not even my free time, just the way I live life is in a very spiritual way. Everyone has their own spiritual ways of being, and for me, combining that into the company name and the brand was super important. So the monk itself is the ever channeled information and data available, and so the monk always knows what's happening because he's always channeling information. And the digital world, the digital marketing world, is constantly changing, as we discussed earlier. It's changing daily. The algorithms are changing daily. And so for us to be successful in what we do, we have to be up to date on all of these changes and making sure that we understand the landscape and all of the changes that are happening on all of the platforms. So that's where the digital monk came in. It's the ever knowing, the ever channeling of the everlasting changes in this space.
Monica, can you tell my audience about some of the services you offer at Digital Monk Marketing?
Yeah, sure. So Digital Monk Marketing, we're a full service agency. We offer podcast services. We offer SEO, Google and Meta and TikTok ads, so all social ads, campaign strategy, branding. So really understanding when we take somebody on, it's really understanding who they are and how their brand is reflected of their services. Does it match? Does it not match? Creating a strategy around that and then implementing campaigns on specific mediums that are going to allow them to share their voice and share their brand with the right people.
When somebody is looking for digital marketing for their podcast or their online work, why should they come to Digital Monk Marketing? What do you offer that would provide a good service over the other companies?
Yeah, I think the what sets us apart is really that we are up to date in all of the changes, and we're really constantly doing a lot of research in the space to make sure that the campaigns that we're running are performing at the top levels. That can only happen if you understand how things are changing. We've also been told, and in many instances, and why the business has been around so long, is that we really focus on the results that we promise that we're going to provide. And that's because we're really data centric. We're really looking at the numbers, what's working, what's not, and constantly changing and updating campaigns to make sure that they are meeting those performance levels that we promise. So I think when you deliver on results and the numbers show, that's how businesses become successful, and that's how we get other businesses to be successful.
How satisfying is it seeing you and your business help others?
Sorry, say that again.
How satisfying is it to help your customers?
So satisfying. I think that's what I've been doing it for 20 years. It's amazing to watch other companies grow based on our strategies and how they're able to acquire new clients and sell more product and do the things that they want to do. And that's their purpose. That's what they are passionate about, and helping someone grow their passion is super rewarding. I get to do what I'm passionate about and helping them grow what they're passionate about. It's a win-win.
How important is the SEO, which is a search engine optimization, with a website and a YouTube channel and social media pages?
SEO is I mean, for your Google rankings, it's super important because that's where generally majority of people are going to search for a service or product when they know that they need it, right? So where do you go if you need to understand a better, if you're looking for a marketing company, where are you going? You're talking to your friends and you're going to Google. If you're not showing up on the first page of Google, you're not even that person's buyer's journey. You're not even a consideration. Same thing with YouTube. If you're able to provide information to the end user for a service or product that you're selling, you're the first person that was able to engage them with that information that answered their questions. What product and service, what brand are they going to go purchase from? Most likely yours. And social media pages, there's no such things necessarily as SEO, but definitely organic growth. Making sure that you have strong organic growth on your social media pages absolutely will help you in business to convert, as long as you're engaging and you're talking to your audience in the way that they want to be, that they want to receive that information, and they're engaging with it. It's always going to help you promote your business. You're also showing them different sides of you on social media that they don't necessarily see. So behind the scenes stuff, what's happening when they're not in the store, or what's happening when they're not in front of you. Getting them to understand you at a personal level will create an emotional connection, which will also help sales, as long as it's done in an authentic way. That's the key, I think, of all marketing, is making sure that you stay authentic.
Quick thoughts on the use of hashtags that used to be so hugely important. Is there still a need for hashtags nowadays?
I wouldn't say that there's a need for it, because the way that AI is working now is much more intelligent than hashtags are. Hashtag was a thing of the past, in the sense that that's how you would search things, or that's how the algorithms would categorize specific content pieces. But where our technology is way beyond that now. It's hashtags are the time of the past.
What are your thoughts of AI going forward long term?
AI is here and it's only getting stronger and bigger. So you better embrace it. Every company out there is now an AI company, whether you like it or not. So my opinion is that embrace it, understand it, harness it, use it, because it's going to make your life easier. But if you're scared of it, you're just going to fall behind.
It's called stepping out of your comfort zone. And I've done that with this show and doing some camera work the last 5 years. Is you also have to step out of your comfort zone, especially as an entrepreneur and as a business owner too.
I agree. Yeah, absolutely. I think that's what entrepreneurship is all about, though, isn't it? Always stepping out of your comfort zone to learn more, to be better, to stay up with your competitors, get ahead of your competitors. All of those things is that you've got to get out of your comfort zone. If you're not willing to do that, entrepreneurship is probably not for you.
And never use the word complacent. Never get complacent.
Yeah, isn't that the truth?
And finally, I do this with all my guests at the end of my shows. What is a fun fact about yourself and digital monk marketing?
Fun fact. I don't know. I've never been asked that question, actually. Fun fact about myself is I am a Reiki master. And so that really helps in the business, and it helps at a personal level as well. Again, being aligned with the brand is so important, and that's just really who I am, and that's what I bring into the business and the brand.
I should put you in touch with one of my guests and friends from a year ago. Her name is Carrie Kaufman. She's a Reiki practitioner as well, and I think maybe I'll put her in touch with you at some point.
That'd be great. Yeah, absolutely.
And she taught me a lot about Reiki and all that as well. So I'm learning stuff that I never even knew about.
Good for you. Expanding your mind and horizons and new avenues. I respect that.
Absolutely. You always want to grow as a person.
Yeah.
Or continue to grow.
I think that's probably one of my biggest fears, is becoming stagnant, of like not being open-minded or not willing to like learn new information. Because I think as we get older, sometimes we tend to do that. We get really comfortable where we're at, and we reject new information. And I think that fear keeps me like super interested in new information and new things and technology. It keeps you relevant still, right?
And connecting with people too. And I wouldn't have met you through Selena Ella Moon. How did you end up meeting Selena, if you have like one more minute?
Yeah, Selena and I met, actually, we've known each other forever. Her and I went to junior high together. Our sisters are really good friends, and our parents live just a couple blocks away from each other. So we've always had a connection. Her and I have also been working together for many, many years. Selena's an amazing business coach, and I've had the what's the word I'm looking for? I'm running out of words here. I've got the chance to work with her really closely over the years as a client. So that's how her and I know each other.
And that's how we connected through her as well. And that's a huge part of doing what I'm doing in radio and media. And same with you in your profession, is networking and connecting with people.
Yeah, 100%. The power of networking is, as we all know, is key in business. And of course, the work that you do, so people feel compelled to tell other people about your results. But networking is having a good, strong network behind you as an entrepreneur is so beautiful. You feel like you have community, and just being able to connect other people together and doing business together is how most of us become successful in this space.
Absolutely. And finally, Monica, how can my audience follow Digital Monk Marketing on social media, your website, and what's the best way of contacting you?
Yeah, definitely. So www.digitalmonkmarketing.com. All of our social handles are there, and you can get in touch with us there.
And I want to say thank you so much, Monica, for giving us some time tonight. And you have an open invite in the future. And I do look forward to working with you in the near future about my YouTube channel, and maybe doing a little rebranding of my show as well.
Absolutely. Excited to help you.
Thank you so much, Monica. Continued success. and we'll send you a copy of this video, audio, and some real clips tonight as well, if you'd like to post on your social media pages as well.
Sounds good. Thank you, Chris.
Thank you so much, Monica. Have a good night.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye. All right, guys, that concludes season 10, episode 16, or sorry, season 10, episode 21, overall 516. Even the best of us make mistakes here on live streaming talk shows as well. Before I wrap this show up, guys, I've got a little clip from Monica's YouTube channel, and we're going to play it. It just introduces yourself. Her name is Monica Arora Bir. She's the founder of Digital Monk Marketing, and this is courtesy of her YouTube channel, Digital Monk Marketing. Please hit the subscribe and like I just did, and we're going to play this little clip from her YouTube channel.
Brought the two worlds together. Psychology and marketing really are in hand, really figuring out what the customer's journey is. We need to get a formal understanding of what that buying cycle is online now. So we need to start creating strategies to see where the client is, where they want to be, and how we're going to close that gap so that goal is met. And that's all based on looking at the data, looking at the numbers, looking at the analytics.
And that clip was courtesy of Monica's YouTube channel. So please make sure you subscribe and hit like as well. And all her websites and social media sites are on here on the graphics as well. And you can also email her at hello@digitalmonkmarketing.com. And you can reach her company number at 403-826-4561 as well. Before we wrap up our show, guys, I have another announcement to make. The next Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show, sponsored by BarryCullin.com, is going to be on Friday, March 28th at 2 p.m. Eastern with my special guest, Lindsay Earle. She is the Care of Collections and Public Engagement Supervisor at the Canadian Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum in St. Mary's, Ontario. If you've never been there, check them out. They're at 386 Church Street, North in St. Mary's, Ontario, and their website is baseballhalloffame.ca, and I will be there on June 7th to cover the class of 2025, headlined by Jose Bautista, the former Blue Jays legend as well. Since we're talking baseball too, guys, Major League Baseball opening season opened up today. The Baltimore Orioles beat the Blue Jays 12-2 at the Rogers Center, and the fans are already panicked after one loss. And my Detroit Tigers open up their season tonight against the World Series champion Los Angeles Dodgers tonight at 7:07 first pitch from Dodger Stadium. Tarek Skudrow is in pitching for the Tigers tonight. So Tigers and Dodgers as well. And as for hockey, the Red Wings take on Ottawa tonight at Little Caesars Arena as well. And as always, the Buffalo Bisons open up their 2025 AAA season tomorrow at 2:05 first pitch at Salem Field. The Bisons, the top farm team of the Toronto Blue Jays, take on the Rochester Red Wings, the top farm team of the Washington Nationals. And you can get tickets at bisons.com or go down to the Salem Field box office and get tickets. And the stadium is about 7 minutes from the Peace Bridge. If you're coming from Ontario, it's right off of exit 6 off of the 190, and there's plenty of parking. And the Buffalo Bisons do a really great job on their field and in-game presentations. And if you'd like to check out my show from a couple days ago with Pat Malacaro, the voice of the Buffalo Bisons, and here's hoping I can get down there this summer to do some freelance independent media coverage of the Buffalo Bisons. But if you want to see tomorrow's stars for the Blue Jays in Buffalo, I would highly recommend going down to Salem Field this summer to see the Buffalo Bisons play as well. As we wrap up this show, guys, Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show, again, is brought to you by Barry Cullen Chevrolet Dealership at 905 Woodlawn Road West in the Guelph Auto Mall. Check out barrycullen.com for the newest selection of new and pre-owned GM vehicles. And you can also call the dealership at 519-824-0210 or email them at info@barrycullen.com. Speaking of Barry Cullen Chevrolet, right now it is Truck Month at Barry Cullen Chevrolet, a 2025 Silverado LD Custom Trail Boss. You can finance for 0%. That's right, 0% for up to 72 months. Conditions apply. View offers View offer details at barrycullen.com and tell them that Chris Pame sent you as well. And as we wrap up this show, guys, if you'd like a personalized video message from yours truly, I am part of the Cameo family. Check me out on cameo.com/Chris Pame and book your Cameo today. And as we wrap up the show, guys, I am on another social media site. And I'm all over the place on social media sites. I'm at Blue Sky Social at Live with CDP19. And please make sure you follow me on Blue Sky Social as well. As we wrap up this show, guys, if you're looking to adopt a pet, check out the Cambridge and District Humane Society at 1650 Dunbar Road in Cambridge, Ontario. Telephone number 519-623-7722, extension 0. And you can visit their website at cambridgehumanesociety.org. All the animals up for adoption, their profiles are on cambridgehumanesociety.org. And also, if you're looking to volunteer down at the Cambridge District Humane Society, through their website, you can click on the volunteer application form as well. And currently, the Cambridge Humane Society is also doing a quarterly 50-50 draw. I believe the next one is on March 31st. You can go on their website, cambridgehumanesociety.org, click on events, and you can purchase your tickets there. The winner gets half the money, and the Humane Society gets the other half. And finally, speaking of Cambridge Humane Society right now, they're looking for dog treats, cat treats. They're also looking for cat litter. And also, the Cambridge District Humane Society, once a week on Wednesday, has an emergency pet fund for those people in the Cambridge area who are struggling financially right now with the price of pet food. So if you have any cat food, pet food you would like to donate to the Cambridge Humane Society's Pet Emergency Fund, please drop by the shelter at 1650 Dunbar Road in Cambridge, Ontario. They would greatly appreciate it, and they do a wonderful job looking after our furry friends in need of forever homes and families as well. So please check out the Cambridge District Humane Society. Their website again, cambridgehumanesociety.org. As we wrap up this show, guys, Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show is live streamed on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, X, Twitch, LinkedIn, and now available on Instagram. And make sure you subscribe. You can check my website out at beacons.ai/Chris D. Pame. I am back on TikTok, guys. I have a new TikTok page at Chris Pame. Please make sure you hit follow. I just hit the 500 followers on TikTok. Now I need another 500 so I can get back to the 1,000 mark and go live on TikTok. So please check out my latest content on TikTok. And I have a cooking video that I'm going to put on TikTok tonight as well. So at Chris Pame on TikTok, and please hit follow as well. StreamYard is the official live streaming provider of Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show. If you're into webinars or podcasting, check out StreamYard.com. They have basic free plans or paid professional plans like I do. And if you're a business that does a lot of webinars, live streaming, check out StreamYard.com and contact their sales department as well. I've been with StreamYard now for over 4 years, and I think they're one of the best for live streaming services. Finally, guys, Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show. The audio version is available on these platforms: iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Spotify for podcasters, Apple Podcasts, Breaker, Pocket Cast, Spotify, Castbox, LinkedIn, Pandora, Tuned In, YouTube Music, and Good Pods. And please remember to hit subscribe and like as well. Finally, guys, you can email the show Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show at cpame19@gmail.com. Any comments, questions, suggestions, feedback would be greatly appreciated. And if you'd like to tip me for my radio talk show and my media work, you really enjoy my work, I'm on PayPal, cpame19@gmail.com. And finally, you guys can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, X, Threads, Instagram, LinkedIn, everywhere on Blue Sky. And also, please check me out on YouTube. Type in Chris Pame, Live with CDP Sports Talk on YouTube and hit that subscribe notification. I am working to get to 600 subscribers, and I'm currently at 572. So right now I'm 28 short of 600. If I can get to 600 YouTube subscribers, I will have a special prize for that person as well. So I want to say thank you to everyone for watching and listening to this show as well. And that wraps up our show for tonight with Monica Arora Bir from Digital Monk Marketing. So if you are looking to build up your online business, I would consider checking out Monica's website again, and I will put it on here before we leave as well. So I want to say thank you to Monica Arora Bir for coming on, and Digital Monk Marketing. Her website again is digitalmonkmarketing.com. You can email her at monica@digitalmonkmarketing.com, and her number to reach her at is 403 extension 403 826-4561. She is the founder of Digital Monk Marketing as well. And that is about it, you guys. Thank you to Barry Cullen Chevrolet for coming on here, and look forward to my next show, Friday, March 28th at 2 p.m. with Lindsay Earle, who's going to be on my show for the first time, and she's care of collections at the Baseball Hall of Fame and in charge of public engagement at the Canadian Baseball Hall of Fame. So if you've never been there, please check them out. They're located at 386 Church Street South in St. Mary's, Ontario. The website is baseballhalloffame.ca. So I'm looking forward to that as well. And again, Major League Baseball opener today, Orioles 12, Blue Jays 2, and the Detroit Tigers tonight open up their 2025 season against the World Series champion Los Angeles Dodgers at Dodger Stadium. And the Buffalo Bisons take on the Rochester Red Wings tomorrow at 2:05 at Salin Field, first pitch. You can get your tickets at bisons.com or through their box office as well. And the Buffalo Bandits are back home at the KeyBank Center on Saturday, March 29th at 7:30 against the Vancouver Warriors. It's wrestling night at the KeyBank Center, so you can get your tickets at bandits.com. Again, thank you to my guest, Monica Arora Bir from Digital Monk Marketing for coming on here tonight, and thank you to Barry Cullen Chevrolet and to everyone watching this live stream and on my audio platforms. I hope everybody has a great night and enjoy the return of baseball. And we'll see you back here tomorrow at 2 o'clock for another edition of Live with CDP Sports and Entertainment Talk Show, brought to you by Barry Cullen Chevrolet here in Guelph. Good night, everybody.